here's some best practices. Just like everywhere else, I always like to put this slide together, which is what are the best practices that come across, right? One, identify untapped market. Okay, in the tweeting world, okay, it's very, very likely that there are untapped hashtags, etc., that you can probably find and piggyback on them. So if you're creating something new, if there is a new idea, you can actually create a new hashtag and get that to trend. Get people to connect to that hashtag. Okay? So find untapped markets. Secondly, follow your competitors. See what they're doing. Okay? Because if you see your competitor is using certain hashtags, they're promoting their product a certain way, it doesn't preclude you from doing it. You should do it as well. Probably maybe even use the same hashtag. Why does it stop you from using their hashtag? This is an open platform. Hashtags are not patented, not trademarked. Right? So use that hashtag. Follow your competitors. Okay? Plan ahead. Which moments will you own? Okay, this is a concept where you decide when you're going to tweet what. Okay? Because in Twitter, it's all about the moment. Okay? So, which moment do you want to own? Okay? So, I'll give you an example. Let's say that, sure, festival. Let's say that you create something new for Diwali, some new way to donate. Say for every firecracker you don't burn, we're going to donate 10 cents or 10 paisa. Okay? Now what you've done is you said that I'm going to own that moment. Okay? You created a campaign in your head, but what is that moment? So that moment has to be defined. Is it 10 days before Diwali? Is it the day of Diwali? What is that moment that you will own? Okay? Because campaign to bahut sare create kar sakte, but you need to know what moment you will own on Twitter. Because everybody else will then come after you. So as soon as you post, there might be 10, 20, hundreds of others that will retweet, repost, do whatever things, right? So you need to understand what moment you will own. Okay? Fourth thing, make tweets conversational. Tweets cannot be telling something. They have to be conversational. There can be a question. Okay? You can reply to other tweets. You can add links to them. Okay? Or you can tweet directly. Okay? And what do you mean by directly? The question like I asked, what do you all think? That could be a tweet. Why do I have to provide information on a tweet? I can actually ask a question. Okay? So it can be in form where people can reply to it. You can add links, people can add links, and you can tweet something directly. Okay? Cool? Okay. Leverage at, which are the mentions, or the hashtags. Okay? Use them on Twitter because Twitter is made for it. So when you refer to a person, place, celebrity, etc., you'll probably use the mentions. And when you refer to a topic, a subject, okay, you'll use the hashtags. But in Twitter, without that, your tweet is useless. Okay? You're not going to find anybody in Twitter not using them. Okay? In this class, somebody tweets. Who's that? You tweet? You're also tweeting because I saw your tweets also. So some of you, yes. Because I've been seeing some tweets, and I've seen the mentions in there. Okay? So they're mentioning names, right? And there are mentions. So when you create tweets, it's very important to have mentions and hashtags in there. Okay? Create tweet schedule as part of your overall strategy. So again, tweeting is not by itself. It has to be part of your overall strategy. Okay? So maybe when you're doing something on Facebook, when you're doing something on LinkedIn, when you're something on Google AdWords, maybe you're launching something, you're creating a PR campaign, something. make sure it's part of the overall strategy. You don't just say, अच्छा ठीक है, मेरा tweeting schedule तो ये है, but my other schedule I don't know. Okay? Because let's assume that you're putting a Facebook post at 8 a.m. in the morning, but you're tweeting at 12 noon. And if the same person is getting those messages, they're saying, what the hell are you doing? Same post I got in the morning at Facebook, and same tweet I'm getting in the afternoon, and they're 4 or 5 hours apart. So if they're going to happen, they're going to happen together. And one of the best people, if you want to follow someone and try to see how they're doing it, are the news guys. So like a Times of India, one of the Z News, or Bloomberg, or any of these guys. You see across all platforms, it will be right then. Okay? They're the best at it. Okay? Set goals. Okay? What are the goals that you want to have for your tweets? Okay? Do you want engaged following? Do you want to do brand's reputation? Or do you want to generate more leads and traffic? What is your goal? Because your tweets will change based on this goal. Okay? So if you're trying to create following, it's going to be much different than if you're trying to generate more traffic. Okay? Because traffic would mean you need to get them to do something. Following is just getting them engaged. So they're impressed by what you write, they're impressed by what you're doing, etc., etc., etc. Yeah.
Is there a rule for following others?
Meaning?
There are followers, somebody follows me.
You can follow anybody you want.
And I follow somebody.
You can follow anybody you want. So what happens when you follow is you will start to see all their updates.
Yes.
Correct?
Selectively. Depends if I tag it up or if I choose to.
No. So if you follow, you'll see all their updates.
Only if I put a star, only I receive their updates. No?
No. If you follow someone, specifically, if you go to their profile and say follow, you'll start to see all their updates. Okay? Then you can decide to do whatever else. But when you initially follow, you'll see all their updates, whatever they're doing. Okay? So it's actually a good strategy if you don't have your own followers, is to follow at least a good bit of people out there. Because ultimately, when you follow them, you will start to get followers yourself. Okay? So you can actually use that strategy. Yeah.
Just a follow up on that. I started following a few influencers, and out of the blue, people from USA, Canada, and all started following me. I had no clue who they were, but they started following me. And what I did, I reciprocated, and then the followers kept on increasing.
Yeah, that's how it goes. And that's what I'm saying. In this, especially the Twitter world, you just follow someone, put some content, automatically your followers will go up. Okay? There are people out there that have realized that it's like networking. Think about it as networking. You go to a big networking event. What do? You distribute your card, you get somebody else's cards, right? That's how your network increases. You're doing the same thing here. So they also realize that if they follow you, your current followers will see that they followed you, and as such, they will gain more followers. And the cycle just keeps on going that way. Okay? All right. Now, here's an example of a tweet, okay? That's a very graphical tweet, okay? So if you look at it, there's a lot less text. And by the way, sorry, most people think of Twitter as just text, right? If you look at this tweet, there's very little text. There's a lot more graphics now. Because most people just think, I write those 100 somewhat characters, and that's what tweeting is all about. Not anymore. Just like other platforms, they also have graphical and all kinds of stuff, videos and all kinds of stuff integrated now into Twitter. Okay? So this is a view of how a graphical one looks. Okay? Again, in this one, the reason I chose this one is the use of the hashtags. Right? Look at the hashtag that they've used. They've used something called first day of fall. Okay? It's a very, very engaging hashtag because probably other brands also are using the same thing. So people that when the weather changes and fall arrives and people relate to fall, let's say, and they click on this hashtag, not only are they going to see this brand, they'll probably see many other people that are engaging with this hashtag. Okay, so this is an example of the use of hashtags. Now here, I'm sure that most of you don't see these examples on Twitter. But here's an example of a tweet that's a questions and polls. Okay? You can actually run a poll on Twitter, just like this. Okay? So it doesn't have to be a normal tweet. Okay? You can actually say, listen, can you give me your opinion on this? So just another version of something that you can do on Twitter beyond the normal post that you see. Here's an example of a retweet. Okay? So Miguel is retweeting something from B&O Play. Or they can be replying to it. Okay? So you have retweets and replies, right? So here, these are just few examples I wanted to bring. So like this one had images in it. So Twitter is not only about text. Okay? This one is more image also, but I think more is the hashtag that they use. This one is a question and poll, Twitter. Okay? And this one is the reply and retweet kind of a example. Okay? Any questions? No?